and talk together.
Elon Musk's AI chatbot GROK is facing intense criticism, accused.
Oh, Ashley St. Clair, by the way. Ashley St. Clair got woke after doing Fortnite Friday. Words that you probably never thought you would be hearing or never thought you would say maybe a couple years ago. And now, those words are reality. Elon Musk's baby mama, Ashley St. Clair, has been wokeified.
Of allowing X users to generate fake sexually explicit images.
Didn't she want to come on your stream too? Yes. She's been watching the broadcast for quite a while, as a matter of fact. I'm the one who set her up with TrueAnon back in the day. She's woke now.
Of real women and children. Several countries have already banned the bot, and others are considering it. Jolene Kent spoke to a woman with a personal connection to Musk, who described how GROK created fake images of her. Jolene Kent, good morning.
A woman with a personal connection to Musk is such a nondescript way of describing one of Elon Musk's many baby mamas.
Nate, good morning. Ashley St. Clair, the mother of one of Elon Musk's children, discovered people using GROK to create sexual images of her, including manipulating photos of her as a minor. This comes as Musk says he plans to file for full custody of their child. We spoke to St. Clair, and she says the abuse has now followed her into the real world.
Consider what it means when someone has this much data and this much power, and even when they're quite explicitly breaking laws and legislation.
27-year-old Ashley St. Clair is sounding the alarm after Elon Musk's AI chatbot GROK generated and published sexualized deep-fake images without her permission and shared them on X.
How does it make you feel when you see your likeness being manipulated like that?
The worst for me was seeing myself undressed, bent over, and then my toddler's backpack in the background, because I had to then see that and see myself violated in that way and such horrific images, and then put that same backpack on my son the next day because it's the one he wears every day to school.
St. Clair, an author and mother of two, has a son with Musk. She's one of many victims of non-consensual sexual deepfakes created and shared by GROK.
Did you ask GROK to take those photos down?
I did, multiple times. GROK said, I confirm that you don't consent. I will no longer produce these images. And then it continued to produce more and more images and more explicit images.
St. Clair says she filed a report directly with XAI, which operates GROK. Some of the images were then removed.
When you think about the person who is leading this tech and making it available to the public, what do you want to say to that?
Make it stop. This can be stopped with a singular message to an engineer.
Last week, Malaysia and Indonesia banned GROK, while regulators in the United Kingdom have launched an investigation. A recent study by AI Forensics, a nonprofit that investigates the algorithms of major platforms, found that more than half of the GROK images they reviewed contained individuals in minimal attire, the vast majority of them women.
What do you say to the people out there watching who say, oh, she's got a bone to pick with Elon Musk?
If they want to say my bone to pick is the chatbot undressing minors and myself and stripping me nude, yes, you're right. I have a bone to pick with that. And I don't care who's doing it. So Elon's not special about me speaking out on this.
CBS News reached out to Musk and has not received a response yet. On January 3rd, XAI said it takes action against illegal content on X.
We should just start producing images of Musk, Trump, and all the DHS in bikinis until somebody actually... That's not going to work. You can only shame someone who has the capacity to feel shame. These guys are freaks. I have much shame. Yeah, Elon is now... What the fuck is this? Elon needs full custody. Coming out in support of trans grooming like this is insane. Did I block every person? Pretending to be a right-winger for years and immediately abandoning it all when you see a new paycheck elsewhere? Offering up your own child to the woke mob talking about his sister, a young boy that was groomed and castrated. One of the most disgusting things I've ever seen. Dark woke cause. The other option is bootlicking feds, pedophiles, and nerds. You previously engaged in blatant transphobia. How do you feel about trans people in the wake of noticing how the far right truly is? I feel immense guilt for my role, and even more guilt that things I have said in the past may have caused my son's sister more pain. I don't really know how to make amends for many of these things, but I have been trying incredibly hard privately to learn and advocate for those within the trans community that I've hurt. I also haven't said much on this because I have gone back and forth over whether my voice would be helpful on the issue, since it will be framed as disingenuous or just turning because I'm scorned. Even this reply will become right-wing hysteria, but yeah, I am sorry. Let me know how I can help. 13,000 likes from right-wing hysteria. And Elon Musk literally turned around and saw this when she said she's no longer transphobic. He said, I'm filing custody today, given her statements implying she might transition a 1-year-old boy. Elon wants teachers rounded up and imprisoned for speech, but says his AI bot making sexual images of children is free speech. Yeah. Elon Musk is one of the perfect representatives of like how stupid that free speech argument actually is. Like how many of these people who claim to be free speech advocates are not actually free speech advocates at all. He's the guy, he's Mr. Free Speech, right? Mr. Free Speech. And all he does is ban people, ban dissent, demand others get deplatformed. Teaching people to hate America fundamentally destroys patriotism and the desire to defend our country. Such teaching should be viewed as treason and those who do it imprisoned. Not very free speechy, my guy. This guy also, the other thing that I despise about Elon Musk, aside from him being a white supremacist, is this like really Reddit way of typing things out like a faillennial. Same with like JD Vance, right? Elon, I love you, and I think overall you trying to do the right thing. I also think it's disgusting how you were treated when you try to uncover government fraud, both by some of the American people and the government itself. That being said, men like you and Trump need to stop being so utterly gynocentric and start controlling your biology and stop willingly enslaving yourself to females through bad decisions, who you procreate with and put into positions of power. Yeah, I sure dig my own grave and inadvertently cause pain for many people I care about too. Sad face. I'm very worried about population collapse destroying civilization, but this doesn't really solve that problem. Perma tendies speak. I swear to God, man. Yeah. Yeah, dude, you were trying to fucking save Western civilization from population collapse by having sex with your reply guys. Jesus Christ. And then the goblin guy getting a fucking response from Elon loses his mind even further. There are simple solutions to population collapse, but no one really seems to want to have that conversation. The following tools have been used with great success, I might add, to drive down birth rates, women's education/indoctrination, women pushed into the workforce at the expense of men, unlimited access to birth control, women voting, holding public office, and otherwise taking... Dude, I'm sorry. You need a lobotomy. I can't read this. I can't read the rest of this. This kind of shit, like... Yes, we must send women back into the kitchen and not let them get educated. How are we supposed to live in a society with people like this, man? Like perma-victim. Women working in the workforce has made my life so much harder. Women voting, holding public office, and otherwise taking part in governmental decisions. I think like, I don't know. I'm not a Radley by any means, but like maybe we castrate guys like this. I mean, I guess they've also permanently castrated themselves by being like that. So there's no way they're fucking anyway. But it's just crazy. Women existing in the workplace is undermining men. Yeah, dude, that's what's going
including
on.
child sexual abuse material or CSAM, by removing it, permanently suspending accounts, and working with local governments and law enforcement as necessary.
What would you like to see the U.S. government do to solve this problem?
Make it stop.
How?
They need to regulate it.
How?
AI should not be allowed to generate and undress children and women. That's what needs to happen.
There are
Like, I do want to go back to a point in time where, like, there was an established consensus on pedophilia being morally repugnant and wrong and criminal. Okay, can we go back to that time? I don't know exactly when this changed, but there was a good, like, between the 60s and 70s when rock stars were constantly talking about how awesome it is to do statutory rape. And then, like, right now, there was like a cool time period where everyone was like, you know what? Pedophilia is bad. We all agree, right? Speaking of the right normalizing pedophilia, here it is. Nicholas Fuentes, who has already talked about lowering age of consent in the past. So it shouldn't come as a surprise, but here it is. This time he's doing it to defend Jeffrey Epstein, weirdly enough.
This whole pedo thing, it's like, isn't it really pedo?
You say this while Islam exists, basis of the religion. I don't know where you're getting this from, but they'll beat you with fucking hammers if you try to do pedophilia in a country that's Muslim like Turkey. I think you're confusing, like, I don't know, fundamentalist people that exist in every country, including this one, with an entire religion. Nick Fuentes had Ali Alexander groom young boys in his America First when he was aware of it. Oh, yeah, true. That's true.
I don't want to be the one that has to say it, but I guess I'm being forced to say it. It's not really pedophilia, okay? They weren't trafficking 5-year-olds. It was like they were technically not legal. Big difference, in my opinion. I know that's a controversial take, but that's not really the issue there, okay? The issue is not that they were barely legal teens, which is what it is. It's horrendous. It's awful. It's pedophilia. Okay, relax. No, the issue is that Epstein is a Jewish spy probably working with Israel. That's the dilemma there. He's working with Israeli intelligence.
That's crazy. No, I think they're, you know, like Mossad and pedophilia are both pretty bad. There's no reason to excuse one at all, actually. That's crazy. But at least, hey, look at that. Yeah, one of my predictions is at least one of them, I locked in. The right will try to normalize pedophilia. Actually is a phebophilia. This will gross out normies. There you go. It's so crazy because he said the problem is not that he's a pedophile, but instead he's Jewish and works for Israel. No, I think the problem is that he's a pedophile who does also work for Israel. Yeah, also, even when he got mad about Jeffrey Epstein, he just brought up the fact that he's Jewish first and then even said maybe working for Israel. Truly the worst, most insane framing possible. He's like, he's definitely Jewish, and that's the problem. Maybe he works with Israel. We don't know. But also, I just want to say pedophilia is A-okay. Awesome.
existing laws against those types of images.
And they need to enforce them.
Who should enforce them?
Who's ever responsible for enforcing them? Not me.
St. Clair tells us her ability to earn money on X has since been revoked since she spoke out. And when we asked her if she plans to take legal action, she said she's considering all options available. And guys, it's worth remembering, GROK is driven by the information that users give it. It learns from your interactions and what you put in unless you opt out of that. The platform trains on an enormous amount of data. And as for that custody situation, Musk says he plans to file for full custody over allegations that St. Clair might transition their one-year-old son. A source close to St. Clair, though, says this is, quote, absurd and unequivocally false. Vlad?
Yeah, Jolene, she raises an interesting point. Why not have an engineer on the back end remove the...
Why is she running defense for Elon Musk? I don't know. It's CBS, dude. Why do you think? Barry Weiss. Bovine Barry, back at it again.
capability for artificial intelligence to...
What preceded?
All right, I'm not going to watch 48 minutes of this. I'm sorry. No disrespect, but like, that's craziness. Okay.